Hi there, welcome to Caltex Academy. Today on our board we have integration of product of sine and sine. If sine of different angles are multiplied together, how to integrate? This is a little bit a complex integration, so we cannot do exactly from here directly. So what we can do is we need to split this product into either sum or difference. And what do we do in order for us to get it splitted? So at this juncture we will use factor formula. So I listed the factor formula in our video number 1, where we looked at product of cos and cos, and the link of that video is in the description of the video below here, so you can also go ahead and watch to see the factor formula listed. And the one that corresponds to our work today here is when we have difference of cosine. So we have cosine of an angle A minus cosine of any angle B. This is given as -2 sine of that angle A plus angle B all over 2 times sine of angle A minus angle B over 2. So this is the factor formula that corresponds to our question here, because we have sine of different angle 2A, 2x, and sine of 4x, which when you see here, these angles are also different. So for that case, the only difference here is the number before, that is -2. We don't have any -2 here. So what we can do is to get rid of this -2 from the right hand side of the factor formula, and this identity will be similar to this after dividing by this number. So let's go ahead and divide by -1/2 multiplying cosine of any angle A minus cosine of the angle B. Then this is equals to, so this one has gone already because we've divided both sides by, and we have here sine A plus B over 2 times sine A minus B over 2. Now you can see that this is exactly corresponding to what we have here, so we can get our question here and right near it and see that we have sine of the angle here is 2x times sine, the next angle is 4x, and you can see sine and sine are corresponding, meaning the angles are also corresponding, and we can compare them. So with this, we can take the first one, and we have A plus B over 2 equals to 2x. So let's get rid of this denominator, and we multiply both sides of this simple equation here by 2. So we're left here with A plus B equals to now 4x. So let's call this one equation number 1. And let's do the same thing to the next angle here, and we say, okay, so our A minus B over 2 should be equivalent to the next angle here, and that is 4x. Then we also multiply both sides by 2. So we have A minus B equals 8x. So again, let us call this one here equation number 2. Now we have two equations with two unknowns called simultaneous equations. We can go ahead and work it out to find the value for A and B using any of the methods that we prefer. Of course, there are 4 methods of solving simultaneous equation, but for now I'm going to settle down for elimination. So here, how do you eliminate? We can bring these equations together. Again, let me switch colors so that we have A plus B equals 4x. That is our equation number 1, and our equation number 2 is just near here, where we have A minus B equals 8x. So to eliminate is to check on the coefficient. If the coefficients are the same, then you can either add or subtract depending on the sign. So let us add. Now if the signs are the same, then we can subtract. If the signs are different, you can add. So we have here our addition sign. Now we can maybe make it look a little bit organized by having some line here. From here we can go on and add this to A plus A. We have 2A. Then B plus negative B goes to 0, so we can just leave it like that. And 4x plus 8x, we have 12x. So we can get our A by dividing both sides by 2. And then we have here 12x by 2. That will get for us 6. Let's get enough space here. And our value of A is 6x. So let's go and also get the value for B. And B can be calculated from equation number 1 or 2 through substitution. So let's say we substitute A with the value of 6x in equation number 1. So equation number 1 says A plus B equals 4x. Now when you place A to be 6x plus our B equals 4x, then we will collect like terms to get B. So we have B as 4x minus 6x. Now here we can have 4x minus 6x, we get negative 2. Somebody might be wondering that we have negative, how possible will this work? So trust me, it will work out well as we progress. I will be telling you exactly what to do. Now from here, let's go ahead and bring our factor formula still back here. Remember, we divided it by negative 2, so we obtain something like 1/2 into cosine of A minus cosine of B. We close that and we had sine of A plus B over 2 times sine of A minus B over 2. So this is what we had, and we can now substitute whenever we get A and B. We place it our values of 6x for A and negative 2 for B. Now before we continue there, one thing we have to also note here is, maybe let me get some sticker and we place it down here. So in this sticker, if you have cosine and you have this cosine of a negative angle, maybe say negative theta, this can be the same as cosine of a positive angle. Now when you have sine of also a negative angle theta, now this can be written the same as, the negative will come out to multiply. So I'll have here negative sine, now positive angle theta, and we exactly will meet this scenario where we have a negative angle here. So where there is sine, this is what we shall take, and where there is cos, this is what we are going to do. So with that said, let us go to our question and we implement exactly what we have known here. So we have cosine of an angle A, and we said angle A was positive 6x minus cosine of angle B, and angle B is negative 2x. We close this bracket up, and here we have sine of A, which is 6x, plus B is negative, so we can place it in bracket here. We have negative 2x all over 2 times sine, and sine is of 6x minus, again the angle is negative, let's first place it in the bracket in order for us to come out clearly without any confusion. Now let's keep simplifying our work to see that we obtain something. Now we have here negative 1/2 into cosine of 6x. Now we said earlier on that if you have a cosine of a negative number, it goes to positive. But remember, this will still remain here, and we have cosine of 2x. So we can close our bracket and we move on to the right hand side to see that sine of positive times negative is negative. So 6x minus 2x, we have 4x here over 2 times sine of, now negative times negative is positive, so we have 6x plus 2x making 8x. So we have here 8x over 2. So let's divide these angles to obtain something similar to our question, and we go ahead and integrate. So the left hand side we simply copy, and we have here minus cos 3x. So this time we have sine of 2x times sine of 4x. When you check this part here, you realize that this is exactly the same like our question above here. You can see it's exactly similar to our question here. Now since they're the same, we can now go ahead and rearrange such that this side becomes the left hand side, and we will go ahead and integrate. So here we can start by writing this part and say sine of 2x times sine of 4x is exactly the same as the other side here, that is negative 1/2 into cosine of 6x minus cosine of 2x. So from here we can integrate with respect to x. So meaning the integral of this function here with respect to x will be the same as, now let me place this in between because it's also allowed to factor out with respect to x. So now let's continue with this side here, and we have to integrate directly by having our negative 1/2 outside, and perhaps we can create some bracket because this negative 1/2 is going to multiply what is inside here. So again, there was some basics we talked about in video number 1. I'm not going to repeat myself, I just want to apply here. So the integral of cosine is sine. Then we have to divide by this constant attached to our variable x. We shall have here 1 over 6 sine, and we maintain the angle the same. Our angle is 6x. So here we have minus. Also, we will have 1/2 sine of twice x. Now we can close this and we add our constant of integration c here. Now at this stage we can open up this bracket because our scalar here, -1/2, belongs to all the two terms inside this bracket. So we say we multiply the numerators and things will remain the same. We have here the denominators will also multiply to 12. Now we attach our sine 6x. Negative term is negative, is positive. So this becomes 1/4 sine 2x plus our constant. But for mathematical beauty, it is okay when we start with a positive and the negative comes after. So with that, we can rearrange this answer here to suit our working. Now, this implies that when you have an integral of sine 2x, that means sine 4x with respect to x, the result you will get would be exactly what we have here. We are starting with 1/4 sine of 2x. Now we come to this term here that is negative 1/12 sine 6x plus c. And that is how we tackle product of two sines. We're able to get this answer here. And you really have to know the factor formulae, all of them, because any question can be set and you should be able to identify which factor formula is used for which question. Now, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share with friends, and subscribe to the channel to get notification for the upcoming videos. In our next video, we shall look at sine multiplied by cos. So see you in that video. Peace out.